तो दोस्तों आज की वीडियो में हम बात करने वाले हैं कार ड्राइवर्स, टैक्सीज, पेडेस्ट्रियंस, heavy vehicle and articulated, stopping distance of heavy vehicle, truck and buses turning, motorcycle and bicycle, animals, warning signs, tram crossing ahead, regulatory marking, tram line pedestrian crossing, zigzag zone, important traffic sign for tram. हेलो नमस्ते अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों, अगर आप चैनल पर नए हैं तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें क्योंकि इस चैनल पे सिर्फ लाइसेंस टिप्स ही नहीं बल्कि आपको ट्रैवल इन्फो और जॉब इन्फो भी मिलने वाली फ्यूचर में। चलिए वीडियो की शुरुआत करते हैं। तो हम लोग अभी अपना टॉपिक को ओपन करेंगे।
लेसन 3 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ रोड यूजर। जैसे हम लेसन 3 को ओपन करेंगे तो कुछ इस तरह से इंटरफेस दिखाएगा। तो मैं कंप्यूटराइज वॉइस ऑन करता हूँ ताकि हमारा वीडियो लॉन्ग ना हो।
Lesson 3 Characteristic of different road users. In this lesson you will learn about road users and their characteristics, how they use the road in different ways and your responsibilities as a driver. Our roads are busy with cars, taxis, buses, trucks, motorcycles, cyclists, and pedestrians. People from all around the world use Dubai roads every day. Unfamiliarity with Dubai roads may cause some drivers to drive in an unexpected way. As well-trained drivers, we should be able to anticipate all driving situations and react in a manner that ensures safety for all. Heavy vehicle drivers, motorcycle riders, pedestrians and other motorists use the road in different ways. Unprotected road users like pedestrians and cyclists are especially vulnerable. Anticipate their next moves and adhere to set rules to remain safe, because they do not have any protection. There are road rules for all users, but not everybody does the right things. In this lesson you will learn the characteristics of following road users: car drivers, pedestrians, heavy vehicle, motorcyclists, cyclists, animals, and Dubai tram. Car drivers. Driving a motor vehicle is dangerous business. People involved in traffic crashes usually say, "It wasn't my mistake, it was the other driver." As a vehicle driver you have to be alert for other drivers' mistakes, such as those who are talking on mobile phone, not using turn signals, tailgating you, excessive lane changing, eating and reading or texting. Any driver around you talking mobile is equally dangerous as yourself, as they will be concentrating more on their talk instead of on the road. If you are around them, slow down and let them pass you to avoid any crash. Always be on the lookout for and give way to pedestrians, cyclists, taxis, buses, trucks and motorcycles, even if they do not have priority. This is part of driving defensively. Avoid crashes at all costs. Taxis. Our roads are busy with taxis and it is possible that some taxi drivers may suddenly stop in front of you to pick up a passenger. Usually it is not the taxi driver who stops suddenly, but most probably it might be you who is following him too close. Pedestrians. Different kinds of pedestrians can be on the road. Children, young people, aged people, handicapped. Be ready for pedestrians to appear on the road anytime. Watch out for younger children walking near schools, mosques, shops, parks and shopping malls. Pedestrians' behavior. They do not think that the driver might not be able to see them. They assume that the drivers will reduce the speed or avoid to hit them. They frequently cross the road carelessly when there is less traffic congestion. There are cases when they jump into the road and were unable to determine the speed of the approaching car. They may not fully understand that a car needs some distance to stop. While approaching traffic junction with pedestrians crossing, make sure to scan the roads both sides thoroughly to see if some pedestrians unexpectedly run to cross the road. Children accident in busy streets. Children can start running to cross the road even if their parents are with them. Drive slowly where there are chances of presence of the children. Heavy vehicle and articulated. Characteristics of the heavy vehicles: bigger in size, longer in length, heavier. How to deal with heavy vehicles. Trucks and buses. You do not have to be told there are a lot of trucks and buses on the road. But you do need to always drive with trucks and buses on your mind. You need to know that truck or bus drivers have large blind spots areas in their left and right side, directly behind the truck for quite a distance. If you cannot see the truck driver in the truck's mirror, then the truck driver cannot see you and immediately in front of the truck. You should not drive in a blind spot of a truck or bus driver. Move to a position well in front of or behind the truck or bus, where the driver can see you. Stopping distances of heavy vehicles. Because trucks and buses are bigger and heavier, they accelerate slowly and require more braking power and more time and space to stop safely. So do not cut in front of a truck or bus as it is slowing down or stopping, for example at traffic lights, because you may not leave enough room for it to stop. Trucks and buses turning. Be aware that a long vehicle, such as a truck or a bus, might need more room to turn and may take up more than one lane. Do not attempt to overtake a truck or a bus on the inside that has indicated that it is turning right. When a truck or any long vehicle is turning right at a sharp corner or into a gateway or driveway, it actually positions itself further towards the center of the road than other vehicles would before it commences the turn. If you are approaching to a T-junction and you see a large vehicle turning into minor road from main road, stop far enough and allow the large vehicle to turn safely, as the driver will take wide turn to avoid hitting the rear of trailer with curb. Motorcycle and bicycles. Characteristics of the motorcycles. Small in size. Faster. Characteristics of bicycles. Smaller in size. Slow moving. How to deal with motorcycles and cyclists. You need to be extra careful when you are driving near motorcycle riders and cyclists. Being smaller in size makes them difficult to see. Drive carefully. They are permitted to use the full road lane, so give them enough space to do this, particularly as they pass parked cars. In case doors are opened carelessly, they will end up in problem. You should only overtake bike riders and motorcycle riders if you can safely move to the left, leaving more clearance. Imagine they are much bigger than actually they are. Motorcycle accident at traffic light junction. While approaching changing traffic light from green to red, don't attempt to cross the junction. Because if the front vehicle stops, you will have no time to avoid a crash, as you can see in this video. Animals. Always prepare to deal with animals. It may do unexpected things. It may stop suddenly. It may run here and there. How to deal with animals. A sign showing a picture of an animal, such as a camel, warns drivers that animals may be on the road. The symbol on these signs may also represent sheep or goats. Slow down when you see these signs and watch out for animals on the road. Leave as much space as possible to allow for their unexpected movements. Never use your car horn around animals. It may frighten them and it could cause them to run and cause a crash. Warn other road users about the danger by switching on hazard lights. Watch out for an unexpected move of horse in this video. Always give way to police and emergency vehicles. Police and emergency vehicles have priority when their siren is on or they are displaying red or blue flashing lights. You must give way and stop if necessary despite any other rules, even if you have a green traffic light. If you are on a busy road, try to move out of the way of the emergency vehicle as quickly and safely as possible. Click on the box to watch video. Important rule. You must immediately give way to emergency vehicles which have either a siren sounding or flashing red and blue lights by keeping to the right side of the road, reducing speed and stopping if necessary. Priority must also be given to military vehicles when they proceed as convoys.
Inexperienced drivers have increased chances of crash risk because they are less able to predict possible problem. Which of these sign warn of pedestrian crossing ahead? First वाला जो है कि वो sign दिखा रहा है. When you are driving behind a truck, it is best to drive. Second option okay, far enough behind the truck so you can see the driver in the truck rear vision.
Dubai Tram. Tram is a rail vehicle which runs on tracks along public urban streets. This is a great addition to the modern transport system of Dubai. To ensure safe and smooth movement of this tram, road users must observe the signs, markings and rules that are especially created to ensure safe operations of the tram. Priority tracks for tram movements. When dealing with a moving tram, all road users including pedestrians must give priority to tram movement. The only exceptions to this priority rule are emergency vehicles. Important rule. 1. All users of the road shall give priority to the movement of the tram and the tram right-of-way. Exceptions to this rule: A. Emergency vehicles, for example fire engines, ambulances, police and civil defense vehicles. B. Official escorts. C. Army vehicles when moving in convoy. 2. Unless permitted by law. A. No person may obstruct a tram and the tram right-of-way. B. No person may carry out an activity in the vicinity of the tramway which is likely to cause the obstruction of a tram and a tram right-of-way. Signs and markings related to Dubai Tram. Regulatory signs. This sign indicates that the road or portion of the road ahead is set aside for trams only. No other class of road users shall use the road or portion of the road indicated by the sign. Warning signs. These signs warn the driver of vehicles that if they intend to turn right or left they will cross a tram route or railway line. A supplementary plate may be attached below the signs indicating the distance to the tram or railway crossing. Tram crossing ahead. The sign warns the driver of vehicles that there is a tram route ahead and that trams may cross from right to left, or left to right. The plate below the sign indicating the distance to the tram crossing. Tram or railway level crossing. 2 or more tram or railway lines crossing over road. The plate below the sign displaying a text message such as 2 lines indicating the actual number of lines to be crossed. Note: these sign warns motorists of the actual position of a tram or railway level crossing over the road on which they are traveling, which represents a significant potential hazard at which they should reduce speed, exercise extreme caution and be prepared to stop if required to do so. Pedestrian bus or tram crossing. The signs warns pedestrians that they are about to cross a bus or tram right-of-way respectively. They must look in both directions, to right and left, to ensure that no trams or bus is approaching before proceeding to cross the tram or bus route. A bus or tram route may involve a single loop line with one direction of travel. If it is intended that a single bus or tram line may be used in either direction, then these signs may be provided to indicate the actual direction of approach of the next bus or tram. Regulatory markings. Tram line pedestrian crossing. This marking warns pedestrians wishing to cross one or more tram lines to be aware of the direction from which a tram may approach, observe any pedestrian traffic signals and cross line with caution. Zigzag zone line. Zigzag zone line marking is used to inform drivers of specific zones where it is mandatory that they shall not stop or park their vehicles adjacent to the line marking, except to give right-of-way to pedestrians and or cyclists at a pedestrian and or cyclist crossing, or to stop behind such other vehicles as are complying with this mandatory requirement. And they shall not change lanes within such zigzag zone. And it informs pedestrians and or cyclists that they shall not cross a zigzag zone except at pedestrian crossing. Tram box junction. Tram box junction shall consists of a continuous red surface area including tram line alignment across the roadway. It may be located at a signalized junction, normally in junction with box junction located over the road junction. It may also be located at unsignalized accesses where crossing of the lines may occur. Tram box junction informs drivers of vehicles that they shall not enter the colored surface box unless the exit from it is clear. Drivers whose vehicles enter the box marking when other stationary vehicles are preventing them from leaving it are committing an offense. Warning markings. Speed hump marking. This is to warn drivers of the presence of a speed hump in the roadway. The speed hump marking comprise of yellow triangular areas arranged at the entry up slope of the speed hump and the long axes of the triangle are aligned in the direction of travel. The raised table pedestrian crossing is usually combined with the speed hump marking. Railway or tram level crossing ahead. This marking is to provide warning to drivers that the lane in which they are traveling is about to cross railway or tram line, or that after turning from the lane in which they are traveling they will cross railway or tram line. Drivers should exercise high degree of care and caution.
There is a single white broken line painted in the center of two-way road. Where must you drive? Second option जो है, you must keep to the right of the line. ये आंसर है. At least 2 second gap refers stay following distance to the vehicle in front. 70% आंसर जो है करेक्ट देना आपको. बाद ये आप नेक्स्ट लेसन में प्रोसीड कर सकते हो. Pedestrians are using pedestrian lights to cross the road. You are turning into when must you give way to the pedestrian? Always. Where do you find children? तो मेरे हिसाब से always driving slow ऐसा कुछ होगा. Extra care must be taken when driving near school because young kids may cross the road without looking. Where do you find children? Near school and residence area से ये. Why we need to take more precaution when we see children? Because children are unpredictable. What does this sign mean? Tram only. When you see this sign, put down and be ready for their unexpected moment. What does this sign mean? Approaching a school zone. What does this sign mean? Tram ahead. Why does heavy vehicle need more space while turning? Because of their length. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका वीडियो देखने के लिए. चलिए अपना ख्याल रखिए, फिर मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट टाइम.